Hey, gun people! Holy shit. No matter how much you distrust your government, no matter how much you hate your government, it's not enough. I understand that MKUltra was a experiment done by the CIA with drugs for mind control, done under the guise of national security. We need to find techniques to fight the mean Russians because they're going to use this warfare, so we need to educate ourselves. Sounds great and wonderful and patriotic. People need to be in prison or sitting on death row that were involved in this operation. If you go to Wikipedia, I know a lot of people have a freaking spaz attack if you mention Wikipedia. They have sources. It's just one source. There's plenty of other sources. I simply went to Wikipedia and I read MKUltra project. MK was an arbitrary standing, Office of Technical Support. Ultra was an arbitrary word. So normally they name, government names their cute little operations, and we did it as cops. On Father's Day, we did a sting to where we were giving away free Super Bowl tickets, and we sent these letters out to everybody that owed over, I don't know, $50,000 in back child support. And when they showed up, they were arrested. And I forgot now, Operation Daddy Day or whatever. It was done on Father's Day, and that was a kind of like dig, like, hey, you guys are supposed to be fathers and you aren't paying child support, so we arrest you. And again, I think child support has become a big issue. I don't want to go there. It happened, but it just goes to show that even today, cops, all government has cute little acronyms or kind names. Even when our government passes laws, like the Patriot Act is the most unpatriotic freaking document ever perceived about stealing freedoms, and they call it the Patriot Act. So people will hear it later and go, oh, that must be good. It was for patriots. Yeah, okay. Anyway, MKUltra, horrible mark against our government. Just one of the many. If you think that this is the worst operation, and I'm not even going to talk about MKUltra, this whole video is about a sub thing, Operation Climax or something. Hang on, I'll get to it in a second. But MKUltra, it was this Operation Midnight Climax, I think is the name of it. It is a sub program under MKUltra. So if you go through all this, basically, to sum it up, I would recommend you go read this on Wikipedia. I'll try to remember to put a link to this. It is just disgusting that they were given people in the military against their will. They had some people volunteer to take all these drugs that were known to cause, well, actually, their long-term effects were unknown, kind of like, and the CIA, of course, is kind of like zinc companies because they have immunity. The CIA was doing these experiments with these drugs with no medical supervision, with no psychological supervision, with no long-term about the effects of the people that they were uninformed and involuntarily taken and given these drugs. It was just outrageous. Let's see. So they administered LSD to mental patients in Kentucky. CIA employees, military personnel, doctors, and other government agents, and members of the general public to study reactions. Are you kidding me? The drugs, often administered without the subject's knowledge or consent. Wow. So this is Operation Midnight Climax. Oh, what a cute little name. CIA set up several brothels. The agency called them safe houses in San Francisco to obtain a selection of men that they would target. They would have these prostitutes paid for with your tax dollars, without your knowledge, without your approval, without your elected representatives' approval or knowledge. They just did this shit, and nobody went to prison. Nobody was given the death penalty for the death and destruction they caused. Nothing. Matter of fact, they destroyed the records so Congress couldn't even investigate it. And the person who ordered the destruction, no problem. Complete immunity, no problem. The people that I run into that support and back our government and believe our government, it just amazes me at the ignorance level and the uninformed decisions that people make when it comes to trusting the government. So, of course, once they targeted you and had you on video having sex with a prostitute, revealing your most intimate government in your bedroom secrets, they held it against you. And if you refused to reveal your secrets, they would threaten you if you were in the military to go to prison if you weren't in the military, they would, threaten you with either your loss of your job, public disgrace, or just disgust. They also took people who were going to the veterans hospital and gave them drugs also. The drugs, mescaline, I forgot how to say that syllabant, psychosyllabant, cocaine, DMT. I mean, it's just crazy. Adverse reactions often occurred, such as an operative who was receiving the drug in his morning coffee became psychotic in D.C., seeing a monster passing him. Frank Olson, an Army chemist who had never taken LSD, was covertly dosed by his supervisor and 9 days later plunged to his death from a window. Now, his death, I think he was pushed. The government lied. He was supposed to be under a supervised watch, and there was a doctor in the room with him, and the doctor suddenly fell asleep, and the guy plunged to his death from a 13-story building while the doctor who was supposed to protect him was sleeping. Perfect. I'm sure it's just one of those conspiracy theories that are never true, and we should trust our government, and our government would never do anything against our Constitution and against the law for fear that, well, they have no fear because they're untouchable. Not only did the CIA do it on Americans that they're supposedly take an oath to support and defend the Constitution, they moved the operation to Canada. And then our government ended up settling in Canada and giving people money and paying them off because they were used. Just outrageous. The CIA would capture people that they thought were suspected enemy agents, which means anybody I don't like, oh, you're a suspected agent. Come in here and we'll do experiments on torture and psychotic active drugs and electrical shock, sensory isolation. They shot uppers in one arm, downers in the other arm to see how the body would handle it. This is our government tax dollars, and nobody was held accountable. They literally ordered the files destroyed, and nothing happened to the person that ordered it. This guy, Frank Church, used to be a cop, and he was proud of the fact that he was involved in this. What got me interested in this thing down this rabbit hole was a post on my Twitter feed that said Operation Midnight Climax is one of the darkest chapters in history. It's not the darkest chapter by any means. The fact is, we're just not allowed to know the other darker chapters because of classified national security, because traitors, government employees agree to keep shit secret and refuse to come out and document and save and take pictures and have a way to expose this for we the people so we can be informed and hopefully try to hold somebody accountable. Outrageous. This was a mind battle. CIA faked Soviets were advancing psychological. When the CIA feared Soviets were advancing psychological warfare, they launched MKUltra, a top secret program aimed at masterminding control. George Hunter White, former journalist turned federal agent, he was also a former narcotics officer, known for his aggressive methods, described as deadly and dedicated. Perfect for CIA unethical experiments. This guy's a piece of shit. I'll show you a little chapter on what he said on his deathbed to his CIA supervisor. The plain simple truth: set up a fake brothel in San Francisco, install two-way mirrors and recording equipment, hire prostitutes, this was all done with taxpayer money, hire prostitutes to lure men inside, then secretly dose them, have the prostitutes give them LSD, then have sex with them and get them to tell their secrets or say something that they might be embarrassed about later, and then use it against them to control them, to do things against their will, like assassinate somebody or kill somebody, or like the guy who said, I'm a patsy, right before they killed him, but the case against killing our president was closed, and the documents are still sealed to this day. Outrageous. CIA called these locations safe houses, but they were nothing but safe. Unsuspecting men would have a drink, meet a woman, and suddenly find themselves part of an illegal government experiment. The prostitutes were told to slip LSD to their clients, engage them in specific conversations, and report their behavior and test how easily they could be manipulated. All while CIA agents watched behind two-way mirrors. This is your government doing this in the name of national security, to keep you safe from the Russians. Wow. White, this piece of shit, unethical communist, proud to do it. White, in his own diary, he reveals the CIA true goals: controlling an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will, even against such fundamental laws of nature as self-preservation. This was a government-sanctioned mind control. Wow. The victims experience intense hallucinations, severe paranoia, psychological trauma, and no medical support. Many never knew why they had such a strange night. Of course, nobody knows if they killed themselves later, if their lives were destroyed, if the guilt got to them and they went down a path of abuse, whatever. None of this was known because your government that you trust and believe in and support blindly, like the back the blue idiots, they're nothing but government paid people protecting their pensions and getting paid to ignore the Constitution and prey on Americans and we the people. Just amazing. This operation ran until 1966, but the most disturbing part, White had no regrets. Before his death, he wrote, "It was fun, fun, fun. Where else could a red-blooded American boy lie, kill, cheat, steal, deceive, rape, and pillage with official blessing?" Wow.
George White, the man who helped the agency in so many of its programs. He would retire here to Stinson Beach, California. And shortly before his death, he wrote to his boss at the CIA, Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, and summed up his career by saying, "It was fun, fun, fun. Where else could a red-blooded American boy lie, kill, and cheat, steal, deceive, rape, and pillage with a sanction?"
Wow. So the truth emerged in 1974 through a New York Times expose. Congressional hearings revealed that Operation Midnight Climax was just one of 150 sub-projects of MKUltra. This is just one of 150 others. But Rick, our government has to protect us, and if we just give them all the guns, then we'll be safe. And we should trust our government because they would never do any. You freaking idiots who still trust your government and don't demand accountability. I just don't get it. Out freaking rageous. And of course, the program's exposure led to public outrage. Oh, big deal. Congressional investigations. Ooh, that's very serious. New oversight laws. Ooh, more laws. Wow. And CIA reforms. Wow. That's really... Okay, we can move on. Now we can go back to trusting the government because this was all... Are you kidding me? Nobody went to prison? What the? Nobody was held accountable. Today, Operation Midnight Climax serves as a warning. When government power goes unchecked, ordinary citizens become unwitting test subjects. And the line between national security and human rights disappear. Who thinks that we're not here right now and that worst is being done? If you don't believe that, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. Wow. There's a YouTube video on this uncovering the shocking truth of Operation Midnight Climax. Proving conspiracies. He goes through all this. This is just a small part of it.
Ambiguities that can arise when the pursuit of knowledge and control takes precedence over human rights and dignity. As we look back at this period, it's crucial to remember the importance of transparency, informed consent, and accountability in all areas of research and government operations. The legacy of Operation Midnight Climax isn't just a story from the past, it's a warning for the future.
Amen. No matter how much you mistrust or hate your government, it's not enough. Government should be held accountable, small, open. We have a secret government doing secret operations under classified and restricted investigations and operations and national security and public safety. And if we only gave government all the guns, then we'd be safe because government would never do anything against the Constitution or we the people. Outrageous. Y'all have a good day.